Hello everyone. So in this video we will be seeing about single point cutting tool nomenclature, tool geometry, and also about the types of chips that are obtained during the machining process. So this diagram, it shows a single point cutting tool with the nomenclature. So the topmost part is called as the shank. This is the face. The intersection of a side cutting edge and end cutting edge, it creates a nose, and here is a heel, flank, and a cutting edges. So this is a diagram of the single point cutting tool. So now let's take a look into what are the nomenclatures used in a single point cutting tool. So first let us start with the shank. Shank is a main body of the cutting tool which grabbed by tool holder on the machine. It is a larger part of the tool in aspects of volume. Next is the face. So face is a surface of the tool where chip slides over inward or up and outwards during the machining process. And the next one is base. The bottom surface of the tool is known as base on which tool stands. And the next one is nose or a cutting point. So nose is nothing but a intersection of side cutting edge and end cutting edge, and the nose radius, it is the radius of the nose which help to achieve better surface finish, as well as it increases tool life. So nose radius, it plays a very important role, as if the nose radius is of exact value, correct value, it gives a better surface finish. If the nose radius is higher or lower than the required value, it results in poor surface finish, and also it decreases the life of the tool. And the next one is about heel. So a line of intersection of flank and base surface is known as heel of a single point cutting tool. Flank. Cutting tools have two flank surfaces. One is major flank, the other one is minor flank. So in the flank only the tool failure occurs. So major flank is a vertical surface adjacent to side cutting edge, and minor flank is a vertical surface adjacent to end cutting edge. Both surfaces are not actually vertical, they are slightly inclined towards the base. Cutting face is another name of the flank. So flank, it is also called as a cutting face. And the next one is cutting edges. Edges, which is used to remove material during the machining process, is called as cutting edge. Face and cutting surfaces make cutting edges. Single point cutting tools have two cutting edges as side and end cutting edge. One is side cutting edge. So edge or line made by face and minor flank or minor cutting face. So it is called a side cutting edge. And like a side cutting edge, end cutting edge is made by face and major flank. So face and minor flank combine together to form side cutting edge, and face and major flank combines together to form end cutting edge. So this is about the nomenclatures of a single point cutting tool. So the next one is about tool geometry. So this diagram, it shows three views of a single point cutting tool. So this is a top view of a tool, side view of a tool, and front view of a tool. So you don't want to confuse that all these three diagrams are of a single point cutting tool, but why it is of different. So these three diagrams, it represents three views. This diagram, it shows the front view of a single point cutting tool. This shows the side view of the single point cutting tool, and this shows the top view of the single point cutting tool. So now let's look into the deep about tool geometry. So there are 7 elements that consist of a tool geometry. So the tool is designated based on American standard method. So in that it comes in this order only. The tool geometry should be designated in this order only. So it starts with back rake angle, side rake angle, end relief angle, side relief angle, end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle and nose radius. So if a typical tool signature is given like 0, 7, 6, 8, 15, 16.8 means it is nothing but back rake angle, side rake angle, end relief angle, side relief angle, end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle and nose radius. Now let's see what are these angles are about in a single point cutting tool. First let us start with an back rake angle. So back rake angle, it is an angle between face of a single point cutting tool and a line parallel to base of a cutting tool which is measured perpendicular through the side cutting edge. If the slope faces downward towards the nose, it is negative back rake angle. If it is upward, it is positive rake angle, and if it is neutral, it is called as zero rake angle. So this rake angle, it is of three categories. One is positive rake, negative rake and zero rake. So if it is negative value, it is called as negative. If it is downward, it is negative rake angle. Upward, if it is positive rake angle, and neutral, it is zero rake angle. So the next one is side rake angle. Side rake angle is the angle by which face of the tool is inclined sideways. Side rake angle, it is an angle between surface of the flank immediately below the point and line drawn from the point to the perpendicular to the base. Side rake angle of a cutting tool determines the thickness of the tool behind the cutting edge. It is provided on the tool to provide clearance between workpiece and tool to prevent the rubbing of a workpiece with the flake of the tool. And the next one is end relief angle. It is defined as an angle between portion of the end flank immediately below the cutting edge and a line perpendicular to base of the tool, measured at a right angles to the flank. End relief angle allows the tool to cut without rubbing on the workpiece. And the next one is side relief angle. Side relief angle is an angle between the portion of the side flank immediately below the side edge and a line perpendicular to base of the tool, measured at right angles to the side. Side relief angle is an angle that prevents the interference as the tool enters the material. It is incorporated on the tool to provide relief between its flank and workpiece surface. So the next one is end cutting edge angle and a side cutting edge angle. So these cutting edges are nothing but the angle between a face and a flank. So if it is a major flank, it is end cutting edge, and if it is an angle between face and the minor flank, it is side cutting edge, and the angle between these two is the end cutting edge angle and the side cutting edge angle. So all this machining process, it involves the next one is about the chip formation. So during the machining, the excess material comes out as a chips. All the machining process, it involves the formation of chips. This occurs by deforming the work material on the surface of a job with the help of a cutting tool. Depending upon the tool geometry, cutting conditions and work material, chips are produced in different shapes and size. The type of chips provides information about the deformation suffered by the work material and the surface quality produced during cutting. So there are three different types of chips. One is continuous chips, the other one is continuous chip with built up edge, and the third one is discontinuous chip. So continuous chip, this image, it shows a continuous chip. Continuous chip means usually it is obtained while machining a ductile materials, and a complete continuous helical shaped chips are obtained. So the deformation of the work material occurs ahead of the cutting edge of the tool. The metal of the workpiece is compressed and slides over the tool face in the form of a long continuous chip. Second one is discontinuous chip. Discontinuous chip is a segmented chip produced in the form of small pieces. So this type of material chips are obtained in a brittle material like cast iron, bronze and brass. The working of ductile materials under poor cutting condition may also result in discontinuous chips. So this image, it shows a discontinuous or a segmented chips where there are many segments in a chip. There is no complete helical shaped chip formation. And the next one is continuous chip with built up edge. So the term built up edge, it refers to small metal particles that stick to the cutting tool and the machined surfaces as a result of high temperature, high pressure and a high frictional resistance during machining. The building up and breaking down of a built up edge is periodic. So in a high strength materials, during machining there will be a lot of heat generated, and because of the lot of heat and pressure, the chips produced gets sticked together each other. It creates a it gets welded and it creates a built up edge. So this cycle, it gets repeated rapidly, and this this black one, it indicates the built up edge. The chips, they, due to the high temperature, they get welded together and create some built up edges on the surface of the material, workpiece material. So the next one is about the conditions on which these type of material chips occurs. So first one is discontinuous type. It is irregular size and shape, and the work material is brittle like grey cast iron. Regular size and shape. Work material ductile but hard, and feed it's large. Tool rake negative. Cutting fluid absent or inadequate. So in these conditions we can get a discontinuous type chips. And continuous types, first one is without built up edge. So work material for this type of chip is ductile, and a cutting velocity is high, feed is low, rake angle is positive and large, cutting fluid is both cooling and lubricating. So the next one is with built up edge, because there are only three types of chips. One is continuous chips, the other one is continuous with built up edge, and discontinuous types. So the third one we are going to see is about the continuous with built up edge. So the work material for this is ductile, and the cutting velocity is medium, feed is medium or large, cutting fluid is inadequate or absent. So these are the conditions on which all these types of chips are produced. So this is about the types of chips and tool geometry. Thank you.